Analysis editorial by Rathod IAS.
Thank you, Rathod IAS.
Really took help of the Hindu analysis to enrich my content.
Hindu analysis articles.
Rathod IAS.
Hindu analysis editorial.
Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 17th June 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. So here I am taking Delhi edition, okay. So whichever edition you are having, you can go through that edition. So there will be no problem with changing of edition at all. So this is front page of our Hindu. So in this front page, so there is one article which is relevant from our examination point of view. So actually I want to say one important thing, that is always you have to follow your UPSC syllabus, because UPSC syllabus is the key. Okay, so whatever there in your syllabus, you can expect the question from that syllabus. So if you're reading out of syllabus, if you're not getting question from that so and so thing that you have read, it is waste of your time. Ultimately, you're here, you're watching this analysis to clear this examination, to get some insights regarding how to read current affairs, right? So here, this UPSC syllabus is the guiding light in entire your journey. Okay, so in entire your journey till you reach success, till you clear this UPSC and till you become an IAS or IPS officer, this will be guiding you. Don't leave this at all. And second one is PYQs. So previous year's questions will help you to understand how questions will be coming in your examination and how and which topics they will be taking into consideration, so that you will be getting some knowledge regarding this current affairs. Okay, so these two are very important in your entire year journey, so you should not leave them at all. Okay, now let us see the front page, and this is the first article. So let us read the title. Title says India refuses to endorse Ukraine meet statement. So already you might be knowing about this Ukraine peace summit, right? So actually in that peace summit, yes, India is not accepting endorsement regarding Ukraine. So here we have to know some brief background. So actually this background I told to our students, okay. So actually here we have Russia on one side and we have Ukraine on another side. So this is the issue between Russia and Ukraine. So why? What is the reason? Reason here is Ukraine wants to join this NATO. NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So what is this NATO? So during 1960s, so we had Cold War, or we can call this period as Cold War era. So during this period, we used to have two power blocks. First one is USSR and next one is USA. So USA came up with one military organization that is called as the present NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. To counter this NATO, even USSR came up with one more organization that is called as Warsaw Pact. What is it? It is called as Warsaw Pact. And now Ukraine wants to join this NATO. So whenever Ukraine it joins NATO, then what happened? So what will be the condition? So here we have Russia, and Russia is directly sharing boundary with Ukraine. Okay, this is Russia and this is Ukraine. So whenever this Ukraine, which is part of NATO, according to this NATO, whenever any member who is adding as part of NATO, so there will be the military or standing army there across the border. So Russia and Ukraine will be having the border with this security forces. So here Russia don't want this. Okay, so because of this, Russia started attacking this Ukraine. And as you all know that we are also having some international organization which will be focusing on peace and stability across the world. So one such an organization is United Nations Security Council. And we discussed about this UNSC earlier, like we have temporary members, we have permanent members, and India also is a temporary member, and India till now it had worked 8 times as temporary member of this United Nations Security Council, right? So here one thing you have to focus here is, so to resolve this issue of Russia and Ukraine, so many countries, they are involving and they are coming up with negotiation, resolution, etc. And now in Switzerland, we have this Ukraine Peace Summit. And here the present article is connected with. So India don't want to endorse. Okay, that is a thing. So you have to know the brief basic background regarding this Russia-Ukraine conflict and as well as NATO Warsaw Pact to know this article. Okay, that's it. And this topic is very important from your international relations, which comes in the GS paper 2, and even from your geography from GS paper 1. So these are the two important things that you have to remember. Clear? And now let us go on to the next topic. So here you can see one interesting image. So this image depicts river rafting. The tourists engage in river rafting on waters of river Bias. So this year 2024 there is question from Ganga river system. Especially they asked where these tributaries of Ganga, they are joining from west towards east, and the order is Gomti, Gandak, okay, Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak and Kosi. So in that order, so these tributaries of Ganga, they will be joining this river Ganga. So in the same way, if you are seeing any river in news, that will be very important. Actually this Bias is one of the important tributary of one more Himalayan river, that is river Indus. Okay, so from that point of view we have to see. So here what you have to see, the first one is whenever you are seeing any river in news, you have to see, first one is name of the river, tributary of that river, whether it is right bank tributary or left bank tributary, and this one is the place where it is joining, and you have to see through which states they are flowing through, and you have to see whether there are any important dams or not. You have to see whether there is any national park or wildlife sanctuary. So all these things from geography point of view and from environment and ecology point of view, you have to cover all those things. And if possible, you can also make map. Okay, map representation so that you can remember the things much more better. So now let us see some facts regarding this river Bias. So I want to show you exactly where this river Indus flows. So this is our Indus river. Okay, so it is flowing in Pakistan. It is directly joining this Arabian Sea. And here there are some important tributaries, like we have Nubra, we have Shayok, we have Gilgit, we have Swat, we have river Kabul, river Kunar, river Kurram, okay, river Job and river Kundar. And apart from that, here we have 5 major important, here is, the first one is Jhelum here, and next one is Chenab, next one is Ravi, this part is Bias, and next one is Satluj. So these are the important river system and the places where these tributaries of river Indus, they are moving. So here the important place you have to know about this river Bias, because this river Bias is in use now. So let us see some facts. So Bias river, it is one of the important river of this Indus river system, and actually it emerges from this Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh, and it is joining Arabian Sea, and it is passing through India and as well as normally this Indus river which will be passing through India and Pakistan, but this river Bias which is mainly in India, and actually it will be merges with river Satluj at Harike. So this place is also very important, where this river Bias is merging with Satluj at this Harike. And total length of this river is 460 kilometers, and this river which covers 256 kilometers throughout this Himachal Pradesh, and even it is very much famous for some tourist resorts. For example, you might be heard about this Manali, right? So they are some important tourist resorts. Clear about Bias? That's it. And now let us move on to our city page. There is nothing much important. You can simply leave this. Yes, this is the states page. So in this page also there is nothing much important. And in this page also nothing much important. Yes, in this editorial page there are two important articles from our examination point of view. So first one, it is about 2 steps back. India needs to close the gender gap in education and politics. As I said, this article is talking about global gender gap index. Okay, it is talking about global gender gap index. So here, whenever you are talking about these indices or in news, you can get question. You have to know about organization which is releasing, and you have to know key highlights of this report. The key highlights of this report that you have to see, and you have to analyze from India point of view. Okay, so these all the dimensions that you have to see, and this topic is important from GS paper 2 under society and social issues, and from GS paper 3 under economy point of view. Okay, so these two areas are also need to be covered under this topic. Okay, recently which is the organization released this global gender gap index, that is World Economic Forum. So here you have to remember this World Economic Forum which released this global gender gap report. So it is saying that yes, India needs to do a lot for decreasing of this gender based discrimination. And what is this gender parity or gender discrimination? It is nothing but relatively equality in the terms of numbers and proportion of women and men, girls and boys, and is often calculated as the ratio of female to male values. Okay, female to male values that we can see, and if females are less in any area, we can say there is a gender gap. So if you see some important details, so India has slipped two places. So earlier in 2023, India's place is like 127, and in 2024, India's place is 129 rank. So there is decreasing of 2 ranks. So economic parity, if you see this economic parity, so among the most of the countries, they are having lowest level of economic parity. Okay, for example, Bangladesh country, Sudan, Pakistan, Iran, Morocco, and in these countries there is 30% of gender parity is estimated. And what is the important thing that you have to focus? You have to focus on education. So education attainment is very important. So India showed the best gender parity in secondary school enrollment. And this one is political empowerment. So recently, here India became the 65th globally political empowerment of women and 10th in the party of years with female and male heads of the state. Okay, so even political participation also there is very low women's contribution. And as far as women representation at the federal level in ministerial positions, it is 6.9%, and even in the parliament there is 17.2%. So because of this, it is still remaining very low in India. And next one is about top ranking countries. So top ranked countries, or the first one is Ireland, and other countries like Norway, Finland, Sweden, they are also ranking very high. They are in top 5. And next one is what are the initiatives taken by the government? Yes, government is trying a lot to control this. So first one is government came up with this scheme called as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. And also we have Mahila Shakti Kendras, Mahila Police Volunteers. This one is Rashtriya Mahila Kosh. And next one is government also came up with Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, Kasturba Gandhi Balak Vidyalayas. Next one is political representation. So women have reserved around 33% of seats in panchayats and as well as the municipalities. And if you see our constitution, article 109, 106 Constitution Amendment Act, so this act which also reserved like 1/3 of all seats for women in Lok Sabha. And even we have the state legislature assemblies. So in that also the legislative assembly was on this national capital territory of Delhi. So in this way here they're also trying to include these ST and as well as SCs people. So this is one important thing or the schemes that we have which we are focusing on how to reduce this gender gap. Okay, so these are the things that you have to see. And now let us see the next topic. So next topic it is about Special Marriage Act. So please let me know how this Special Marriage Act is helpful. So why there is debate which is going on now. So please let me know fast. Students, please do type the answer. Okay, nowadays this UCC, Uniform Civil Code, which comes under Directive Principles of State Policy, which is seen in news, right? So this article is related to that. So recently here one High Court gave the judgment that will lead to the decreasing of or decreasing the concentration of the Special Marriage Act. So as an UPSC aspirant, you have to know what is this Special Marriage Act. Okay, now let us see this article in detail. So actually this Special Marriage Act of 1954, it will be dealing with civil marriages, okay, where the state sanctions the marriage rather than the religion, okay. And apart from that here, we are also having this codified language laws. They will be governing our personal laws like marriage, divorce and access, adoption, etc. So in Islam, they came up with this Muslim Marriage Act of 1954, and Hindus we have Hindu Marriage Act of 1955, and they require either either the spouse. Spouse is nothing but wife or husband, and to convert to the religion of their marriage, okay, of the other before marriage. So before marriage itself, if they want to convert the religion, they can do. And next one here is this Special Marriage Act, which also enables between interfaith, that means different faith people. And next one is intercaste couples without them giving their religious identity or resorting to conversion. So without conversion, without giving up of their religious identity, yes, they can go marriage under this act. And next one is, if you see eligibility, who can eligible? So here the minimum age for marriage in India is 18 years for women and 21 years for male. So they have to cross this minimum age limit, and even to which religion they belongs to, like Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, as well as Parsis, Jains, etc. All they can be eligible under this act. So what is the procedure? So first one is we have to follow law, that is procedure established by law. So section 7 or section 5 of this act. So if you say this Special Marriage Act, so in this section 5, actually there is no need of remembering these sections because UPSC will be not focusing on the numbers like state service examination. So here in this Special Marriage Act, so especially they are focusing on marriage officer. So here any couple they wants to marry, so they have to write to a marriage officer of district of at least one of the parties has resided for at least 30 days immediately preceding the notice. So they have to they have to reside about 30 days. And before marriage is solemnized, the parties and three witnesses, they are to be required. So even though if you go to any marriage of Muslims or like Christians, so they will be giving some witnesses sign. That is also compulsory here. And each one is, once the declaration is accepted, once the marriage is done, then they will also going to get this certificate of marriage. Okay, so all these are some important concepts regarding the Special Marriage Act. And now you have to know about what are the concerns regarding this act. So why there are some issues which are going on regarding this act, and what are the changes that you are going to get because of these differences. So first one is, if you see the objections to marriage, so this section 7 of this act, which allows any person to object to marriage within 30 days. So for example, if I want to go for marriage, I will be going and giving the application there, and within 30 days, if my family members came and if say something here, that publication or that marriage can be cancelled. And next one is requiring the marriage officer to investigate and to resolve the obligation before solemnizing the marriage. So before going its marriage, also here we can request this marriage officer to get into the details. Okay. And next important cause of concern here is privacy concerns. So we don't know like what are the data we are giving there, that will be maintained privacy or not. So this is one issue. And next one is social stigma. So in our society, when you're going for intercaste or interreligious marriage, so will they like support? No. So in this way, you will be having a social stigma in the society. And now there is one main question based on this topic, that is, discuss the challenges faced by the couples seeking to marry under the Special Marriage Act of 1954 in India, and you have to suggest some potential reforms to address these issues. So these are some important mains based questions that you have to write. And next topic it is about very interesting, that is Kafala workers. So Kafala is nothing but it is one of the example of modern slavery. Okay. So this article is important from GS paper 1 under history and GS paper 2 under governance part. Okay. So now let us see this article in detail. So what is this Kafala? Kafala is nothing but sponsorship scheme. So it had been came into picture from 1950. Okay, so it is to regulate the relationship between employers and the migrant workers in many countries, especially in West Asia. So in this kafala system, what happened? They will be taking as like minors or like adult people as kafala from other countries. It is commonly seen in this West Asian countries. And next one is regions implementation. So it remains the routine practice in the Gulf countries and also Arab states of Jordan and Lebanon. So what happens? So in these areas, there is increasing of regions implementation. And next one is, we have to know even reason for introducing it, to provide temporary and to provide hereditary labor, and as well as we can rapidly bought up of our development of the country. So all these things need to be taken into consideration. Okay, so all these three things are very important. And what are the important features and criticism of this kafala system? So first one is, under this system, a migrant worker immigration status is legally bound, and as well as individual suppliers sponsor for their contract period. So if you're staying in that contract period, the traders will be focusing on you. And next one is the migrant worker, they cannot enter the country and they cannot transfer employment or they cannot leave the country for any reason without the first obtaining this explicit written permission from this kafil. Okay, so from this kafil they have to take permission, they have to come back. So on this kafil exerts further control over midnight worker by confiscating their passport, their travel documents, and even some laws, okay, etc. And we are making that these people, they are living like illegally. Okay, so in this way they can do. So this is about this kafala system. And next topic is, as I said, that is about Council of Ministers. So in your Polity Lakshmikant book, you will be having a clear-cut things regarding this Council of Ministers. There you will be studying this topic. Until then, please remember, the present government, it is going to have its own Council of Ministers. So this Council of Ministers contains, one will be Prime Minister, next one is 30 cabinet missions, and about 5 ministers of state. So this first COM, first Council of Minister, it was at the time of independence, and had only 15 hectares. Okay, it is having only 15 ministers, and these ministers are headed by this Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. So actually you have to know about this Council of Ministers. So Council of Minister, normally who will be the head? Prime Minister. But what is the number of this Council of Ministers? So this number had been given by 91st Constitutional Amendment Act. So this 91st Constitutional Amendment Act, which says that only 15% of members, they can form this Council of Ministers, but not more than this 15%. But if you see the present Modi 3.0 government, so they are having Council of Ministers. So this Council of Ministers include, first one is Prime Minister who is heading this Council of Ministers, and now they are having 30 cabinet ministers here, and how many ministers of states here? 5. So all these together, they are forming this COM now. Okay, clear? COM is having this cabinet ministers 30 and 5 minister of states. Then these two people, they will be headed by Prime Minister, and they will be 15%. The issue is always there is exceeding of this 15% okay, limit which set by this 91st Constitutional Amendment Act. So this is the one thing which mainly said here. And if you see here, we have 3 organs of state. So first one is we have executive, second is we have legislature, and third one is we have judiciary, right? So executive will implement the laws, and legislature will make the laws, and judiciary will interpret the laws, right? So actually here 91st Constitutional Amendment Act said that only 15% should be there under this Council of Ministers. But now here in every case there will be normally increasing of this 15% limit. So now here judiciary will be intervening, and judiciary will say that no, you are crossing this limit of 15%. So this 15% which is given in this 91st Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay. So in this way, here many a times here judiciary said that, but even one more thing which is doing here is there is increasing of even parliamentary secretaries in various states. Okay, so this is the one important issue why this Council of Ministers is in use. So here you have to remember only one thing, that is 91st Constitutional Amendment Act. It said to limit only 15% of ministers. So in this 15%, it should include Prime Minister or CM in this Council of Ministers. So if we're talking about this Council of Ministers, so we have central government and we have state government. At the central also we have Council of Ministers, and at the state also we have Council of Ministers. So in these two levels, what is the limit? That is 15%. So this has to be followed. Okay, that is the thing which mainly said. But the issue here is even thereafter the limit on the number of ministers, okay, the appointment of even parliamentary secretaries is going on in various states. In different states, even parliamentary secretaries, they are going to appoint apart from these members. Okay, so this is one important issues. And court also stepped in multiple times to restrain the states from appointing these parliamentary secretaries, but it had not been done. So there is the problem of exceeding of this limit of 15%. Clear? So this is the issue. And this Council of Ministers topic, it is given clearly in your Lakshmikant book. Okay. And the next topic is what is SWM cess? What is SWM cess and why it is levied on waste generators? So if you see here, the one problem we are facing is waste pollution. Okay, waste pollution. So everyone is generating lots and lots of amount of waste in their houses, right? So this waste, normally you can see municipality people, they will be collecting the waste and they will bring some vehicle and they will be dumping the waste into that vehicle, and this vehicle will be going on. Okay, right? So this is the process. where the collection of waste is happening at our homes, yes or no? So they will be collecting the waste. So after collecting the waste, they will be normally dumping in some area that is called as dumping site, okay? Or else what happened after collecting this waste by municipalities in some areas, so they will be bringing some vehicles and they will convert waste into energy, okay? And actually in India the problem here is there is no proper recycling. There is no proper recycling of waste. So because of no proper recycling, whatever the waste is there, we are not using it to convert into energy. And even in this 2024 prelims examination, yesterday that had been held, so there is one question regarding sustainable aviation turbine fuel. Okay, it is about sustainable aviation turbine fuel. So how can we make that? And they give 4 things. So in that one is waste. Okay, so in that way here, so you have to understand, yes, we are creating lots and lots amount of waste here, but how we are recycling is very important, and how this waste we are reusing. Okay, how we are using this reusing of this waste is also very important thing, because we can generate energy, right? For example, biofuel. So that's the thing that you have to see. And one more important concept is it is talking about cess. So cess topic is important from your GS paper 3 under economy. Okay, cess is nothing but tax on tax. So you will be paying some amount of tax, right? So you will be paying some amount of tax to government on based on your income or based on your profit, etc. On this percentage, again the tax will be imposed by the government. It is called as cess. And in this tax on tax, we have commonly 2 types. So first one is cess and second one is surcharge. First one is cess and second one is surcharge. Cess is nothing but, so this is tax on tax which is imposed by the government for a specific purpose. So if it is imposed for a specific purpose, it is called as cess. For example, education cess, you might have heard, and next one is Swachh Bharat cess, and now this SW cess. And surcharges, it is also tax and tax, it is imposed, but it is not having any specific purpose. Okay, so if there is no specific purpose of imposing that, it is called as surcharge. If there is any specific purpose, that is called as cess, and for that purpose only the money which is collected will be used. They will be not using for any other purpose. So this is the difference between cess and surcharge. So if you go back here, it is talking about ESWM cess, right? So here, which state is implementing this? That is state of Karnataka. Okay, state of Karnataka. So here, Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palikes. So now they came up with a decision to levy means nothing but to impose solid waste management cess. So how much it is? 100 rupees per house. Okay, for house they will be implementing rupees 100. So how they will be connecting? So for example, there is municipality van will be coming, right? So it will be taking off the waste. So they will be collecting this 100 rupees. Normally for municipalities, they will be collecting some charges to take out this waste, right? So in the same way, they will be also collecting now 100 rupees per house for this cess also. And this amount they will be using only for this solid waste management, only for waste management, to conversion of the waste into useful products like energy, etc. There only they will be spending this money. Okay, so if you see the details, it says that, so this solid waste management services, it is very complex because whatever the waste we are creating in our home, for example, we will be creating waste like kitchen waste, okay, whatever the vegetables that they are cut off. So after that cutting of vegetables, lots and lots of waste that will be there. And even after sweeping the home, so you'll be getting lots and lots of waste. So all we will be dumping in one bucket and we will be giving to this municipality people. So there is no segregation of, no proper segregation of waste. Okay, no proper segregations. For example, if you see municipalities, they will be using one mic, they will be saying that, so keep this wet waste in red bucket and keep the dry waste in green bucket. Like that, they will be giving announcement. But we will be not following in our home. So we will be adding every waste in that so and so single bucket only. Okay, we will be saving one bucket for later use, and whatever the two buckets they gave, so we are using only one bucket and we are keeping all the waste or dumping all the waste in that single bucket, and we will be giving to that vehicle person. So here, whenever we as an individual who is giving the waste itself, we are not focusing on how to segregate the waste, how to keep the waste like wet waste and as well as dry waste in this red and green buckets, right? So how after this dust or this waste is in this so and so vehicle, how they will gonna separate? So they will not gonna separate. So because of this is the one important problem in our country, especially we are not going for reusing of this waste. Okay, so this is the one important thing here. So waste processing facilities, they are only 35 to 40%. They are focusing on like segregation of waste and as well as converting of that waste into energy, but not entire waste is not, we are not reusing that. So this is the one important problem. And one more thing here is about 35 to 40% of operational expenses, they are taken up by this waste processing facilities. And remaining how much percentage? 65 to 60. Okay, 60 to 65. 60 to 65% will be subsidized by this urban local bodies, and even especially in large metropolitan countries, normally the waste will be generated more. For example, in rural areas, so they will be recycling the waste. For example, if you are cutting vegetables, so whatever the waste that you are getting off, that will be eaten by goats or cattle, yes or no? And even whatever the waste we are generating, like food, if it is wasted, that will be used for keeping for dogs or cats, etc. But in urban areas, yes, we are not using that waste properly, so that there will be increasing of waste generation also. So waste generation is also increased in these large cities. So this type of is very important, so that we can convert that maximum waste into this energy. Okay, that is the thing which is mainly given here. And if you go to this news page, yeah, this is news page. So here there are many articles which came in today's newspaper regarding EVMs. So number of times we had discussions on this EVMs. So just go through this basic facts of this EVMs once. And there is one article regarding NEET. We already had discussion. We are not going to focus on that. Yes, and here there is one important article. India ready to host its first multinational air exercise, that is Tarang Shakti, in August. So actually here you have to see this first paragraph. So it is Indian Air Force first multinational air exercise. So itself it is saying that multinational, multi means many. So many countries, they are taking part in this Tarang Shakti. So in which month? In August. Okay, so that is the thing which is given here. So you have to focus on that. And next article is, so here you can see one beautiful image. So it is about celebrating a river. So which river it is talking about? It is talking about river Ganga. And regarding this river Ganga, you got one question in your prelims 2024 regarding tributaries where they are joining this river Ganga. You have to focus on the map of the rivers. And next topic here is PM Modi to release 17th installment of Kisan Samman Nidhi Fund in Varanasi. So here this article, it is about one scheme that is called as PM Kisan. And this year in UPSC Press 2024, there are 3 questions which came from schemes. So here you have to focus on the scheme for sure. So whenever scheme is in news, you have to see what are the key features of that scheme. And next, you have to see under which ministry and which type of scheme, that is central sector or centrally sponsored scheme, who are eligible. Okay, that is eligibility criteria. And also you have to see significance of that scheme. So if there are any challenges, what are those challenges? And even you can see like what is the outcome. So after year end, you will be getting a budget and as well as economic survey. There they will be giving about this outcome part, challenges part and significance part in that report. So there you will be seeing that. So here for sure you can get good number of questions from this schemes part. Okay, and next is, here there is one article, Center to crack down on late comings in offices. It is about Aadhaar enabled biometric attendance system. Okay, just it is one science and technology, or like how you have to improve governance system. So you can write this article wherever you can use that, like improving of governance system or to maintain the attendance of officers. And in this Monday page, you have this money wise. There is no need of going through this money wise. So simply leave this. And next will be a world page. So in this world page, there is one article. It is about Ukraine Peace Summit. So already we had discussion of this topic in the front page itself. Just you have to see what is this Peace Summit. Yeah, next. Sports page is not useful. You can go to the last page where you have science. Yes, in this science page, you can see indirect evidence builds, yet the dark universe remains murky. So actually, if you don't know about what is dark universe, if you read this second statement is given below, it is talking about dark energy. Okay, dark energy which creates a negative pressure. So because of that negative pressure, which mainly allows this celestial bodies to drift apart. So you know that universe is expanding. I think you might have studied this Big Bang theory. So it says about expansion of universe. So here this article, which is recent science and technology development, it is saying that one indirect evidence which is leading to this expansion of universe is dark energy. So dark energy, how it is one of the important reason for the drifting here is, so because of this presence of dark energy here, that is leading to the drifting, of whatever the celestial bodies. Celestial bodies means the bodies which are present in the space, like for example planets, stars, asteroids, etc., meteoroids, etc. So actually these bodies, they are moving apart. Okay, so that's it which is said here, and you have to focus on this dark energy. Okay, so this article is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology. Okay, you may get question regarding what is dark energy. So what are the reasons regarding the drifting of the celestial bodies? Okay, so why universe is expanding? Like that you will be getting questions. Okay, so there is one article regarding electromagnet, but it is not much relevant. So these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So I hope you understood this class. So by this I'm concluding, and thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like this session and please do share this session to your friends, and do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. Thank you so much for watching.